Eyes on Your Own Paper, Examining Truth About Twin Flame Teachings by Shaun, Bauer. Dedication. For Kate, the one who began this journey with me and taught me what it means to just be. We are eternal. Introduction. You were not crazy. Let me repeat that. You were not crazy. This roller coaster you have been on can make sense if you are willing to unravel the mess, weed out the junk, find solid truth on this spiritual path that is grounded in reality, along with the divine. I promise you, there is a purpose, there is a path to healing, and there is a path to happiness. If you are reading this, the Spirit has brought you here for a reason. This is no accident. I first met this journey in 2011 when my life was shaken to its core. It was confusing, it was messy, and I became a shell of who I thought I was, or so I thought. The reality of its so-called mess was I was laying to rest the me that was not whole, not who I truly was, and was putting on a path for change that has made me stronger, kinder, more aware, and more me I ever could have imagined. I am still a work in progress. I still have places to refine and grow through. I will spend my life growing because I know if we think we have arrived or figure it all out, we stop growing. If we stop growing, what happens? In nature, if a plant stops growing, it is because it is sick. It will die slowly or quickly, but its beauty will be lost. May none of us lose our beauty. In this book, you will see the journey, the downloads from a spirit that I may not have fully understood at the time. You will want a blank journal or notebook, as there will be writing prompts at the end of each chapter. I will do my best to provide insight and commentary along the way, as we sort through these downloads of truth. Why was I hearing all this so loud, and what that means for all of us on this journey? The purpose of this book is to bring you to your true self, to help heal your heart, find your purpose and passion, and help you emerge as the phoenix, rising above those ashes, brand new and gorgeous. Take my hand, let's begin. 1. In January 2015, I wrote this. What is love? Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. And so it is written in the Bible. However, this is not about religion. This is about simply, what is love? It is so easy to feel love for those we hold dear. But this is not just about a feeling. This is about action. Love is also a verb. It is the actions behind that word that show love. And love is where we began our life and where we will end it too. When we were small, just mere infants, love was our first teacher. As we grew into adults, we had to learn how to show, to properly love. Oh, sure, it can come easily to us in some ways, to feel love for another human, our children, family, a partner. But are we showing what love is? I will even take this a step further and ask, are we showing this to ourselves as well? Look at the above quoted verse. Love is patient. Are we patient with ourselves for our shortcomings? Are we patient with those around us with theirs? Does someone rub you the wrong way? Are you patient with them? What about kindness? Are we speaking kind words to ourselves? Are we speaking kind to those around us? If we are to emulate the word love, we must first do these two things. What about the words above? Envy, boasting, pride, rudeness, self-seeking, or anger? So many times we can revert to these knee-jerk reactions, and they are of a lower vibration than love is. For love vibrates at a very high frequency. So, if we are showing any of these lower energies, we are not being our true selves, which is, yes, you guessed it, love. Holding grudges, keeping track of all the wrongs, and then delighting in the failure of those we feel have wronged us in some way, is not only acting in the opposite of love, it is self-harming. Why? Simply put, we do not have to expose ourselves to the mistreatment of anyone, but we can control how we react or feel inside. We don't have to hold negative energy towards anyone. If we must dismiss ourselves from being in another's space or life, we need to do so with love and well wishes. To think ill of someone creates an energy that can lower our own vibration and take us away from love, poisoning our very core energy. The more we hold ill for those who have hurt us, the harder it will be to love and show love to anyone, including ourselves. So in short, kindness and patience begins with our very own self, and then can extend to those around us. When we are in control of these two things, every other act falls into place, for we cannot act upon any negative feeling if we are holding those two key actions in place. We are all from the same source, and all are deserving of kindness and patience. Again, this does not mean we have to put ourselves in the path of pain. This simply changes how we act upon anything that comes our way. Knowing our negative actions hurt another, let us not sow the karma into our lives. Instead, we act in kindness to ourselves, have patience with who we are. We can wish another well, and we can kindly walk away from the person, the fight, a negative situation, whatever it is. Sow love into your life. Love yourself and be patient and kind, and it will come back to you tenfold. This is a simple universal law. This was clearly the start of something. When I look back at where my life had been and where it had come to at this point, I can see clearly that healing had happened in a big way. If I began this journey in 2011 and came to this place in early 2015, what the heck happened in the process? Well, I will tell you, but I can promise you it won't sound pretty. I can assure you I know exactly what your journey has been like, and I can assure you I know how to help pull you out of the confusion and into the place where love is just everywhere you are. Yes, I know, sounds nuts. But do you know what is nuts? Spiritual teachings that leave you stuck. Spiritual teachers that aren't grounded in reality, tell you to ignore your basic instincts and promise you a fairy tale. I have seen some dark things in this movement: depression, abuse, and even suicide. Taking a truth and twisting it to keep people engaged is dangerous. Bypassing how we are feeling at any given moment is even more dangerous. I have seen loving people turn into ego-driven hacks in this movement. Why? Because they have been selling snake oil that just can't keep being swallowed. How long should we drink poison, feel sick and depleted before we put down the bottle of poison and refuse to pick it back up? At this point, you are probably asking me, but Shaun, don't you believe the twin flames are real? And to this I say yes, but I also feel in the depths of my soul we have missed some warning signs along the way. We have listened to spiritual gurus and teachers that do not have our best interest at heart. Their only goal is to keep you buying more sessions, buying more meditations, more merchandise, but never get to the meat of the message. There is a ton of spiritual language you need to learn. To the point where you don't even sound like you anymore when you speak. We begin to ignore our instincts and emotions. We develop this faux new way of being, white knuckle our way through this higher sense of being. If we just do enough and act good enough, we will get the person we desire. Not only is this dangerous, it is actually insidious. So we are going to break this down as spiritual truths grounded in reality, holding up the mirror every step of the way. We will examine facts as if we were investigating a crime scene. We will break down what this means for your life, your emotional health, and help arrive at a place of sanity and clarity. You came here to read this for one of a few reasons. You are sick of feeling so lousy. You want to know how to navigate the twin flame path. You want to know if this person is your twin flame. You want to know if twin flames are real. You want to know what to expect in this process. You are tired of feeling like you are being lied to. You feel like this whole thing is making you crazy, or you just want to understand why this has happened in your life. Maybe all of these things, a few or one in particular, but you came for a reason. Our meeting is no accident. 2. So let us examine the label twin flame. In this following entry from 2015, I was hearing something so loud from Spirit that I couldn't get away from the message. I wrote to try and make sense of what I was feeling. I had to deconstruct in order to put it all back into place again so that it made sense. I didn't know it at the time, but I was being rebuilt. Let's look at this entry. Why are labels so dangerous? To settle the debate, I will attempt to simply clarify that the difference between a toxic, dysfunctional relationship and the heaven-sent, all too often quickly labeled twin flame connection. Please understand, I believe 100% in divine calling, spirit-sent unions that are to serve a higher purpose for humanity. As a psychic, all too often I see mostly women hanging on for dear life to a man who wants nothing to do with her, all because she is determined this is a twin flame relationship. Worse yet are the ones that go back and forth so often, leaving one feeling either super high or devastatingly low. How do we sort the difference? How are we to know if we have been caught in a pattern of toxicity or if we are truly on a path that will lead to a heaven-sent union? First, let us examine the stages of a twin flame relationship. To know the counterfeit or unhealthy, we must first know what the real or healthy is. When I was trained as a bank teller, we were taught how real money felt, what its characteristics were, fibers, feel on the paper, all the little things on the paper that said, I am real. Then we were handed counterfeits, and boy, you knew instantly this was not the real thing. So rather than trying to look in every corner for the real thing, we must first know how to recognize it. I believe then and only then can we tell the difference. Stages of twin flames. 1. Recognition and temporary spiritual awakening. 2. Testing. 3. Crisis. 4. Runner dynamic. 5. Surrender. 6. Radiance. 7. Harmonizing. Let me assure you of this one fact. Stages 2 to 4 do not happen over and over again. You are either on this path or you are not. Anyone who says differently is either not in union with who they labeled as their twin, or they are still stuck in a toxic, dysfunctional relationship. You will not be going back and forth with your twin. Twin love is very unconditional from the start. Even if they run from you, they will not return until they have surrendered. You won't be pining for them in deep agony for years on end. They may feel like the one who got away, but you will not be on hold during this time. If you feel this way, it is the Spirit's way of telling you to look within and begin to focus on the issues that are causing you to feel this way. Your twin is not responsible for your pain. You are. Every one of us has unhealed issues. Attachment issues, abandonment fears, codependency, all of it is unhealthy. It is our moral imperative that we become healthy. This is our wake-up call. How can we love unconditionally when we feel we are only whole when in romantic relationship with any certain human being? Keeping focus on what they are or are not doing keeps focus off of what we are being called by His Spirit to do, to learn to love self so we can love humanity. When we stay focused on another and justify it with the twin label, we are using lower vibrations like possession, ownership, or even obsession. This one is mine. It's exactly what we are saying. That one is not yours and you are not theirs. Shall I repeat that? His Spirit is telling you there is no such a thing as ownership, and there is no such language as this one is mine. If we are called to union in this life with the twin soul, it is to serve humanity together. You belong as servants to your fellow human beings. You do not own each other. Love, true unconditional love, has no ownership. It is free. And you will not know for sure you are in union with your twin flame until you are in union. Confusing? Yes and no. Right now, Spirit is asking, please remove labels. There is a reason for this. There is a reason why you even thought or came across the idea of such a concept as twin flames. It was to call you to a higher place, to raise your vibration and let go of all attachments, even and especially to outcome. Anything else is arbitrary and useless. Push and pull. This is not what love is about. You met the perfect match. You are on such a high. How can you have so much in common with the one person? I mean, this person gets you, understands your deepest feelings. In their arms, you are elated. You have found the one. Then something happens. You wake up one day and there's no good morning text. You text him to make sure he's okay, and he doesn't even respond until late afternoon or even days later. What just happened? You are bewildered. You are shell-shocked. Your body goes into fight or flight mode as you desperately want to hold on to that amazing feeling. You ask him what is wrong and why he is avoiding you. He becomes angry that you would even suggest such a thing. He blames you for being clingy and stalking him. Now he's not answering you at all. In your hurt and now perhaps your own anger at this level of rejection, you lash out, tell him off, or give him a good piece of your mind. Silence. Days or weeks go by. You are sickly and depressed. As you begin to feel like yourself a little bit, you emerge from this fog a little shaky, determined to get on with your life. That is about the time he reaches out. He is checking on you. He wants to know if you hate him, if he has blown it. You are elated. You are not wrong about him after all. This is what they talk about, the twin flame. He ran but is now back. You can both reunite back into your love bubble and live happily ever after. The reunion is amazing. You can't believe he's back, and you can feel whole again. Days or weeks pass, and slowly he pulls back again. The texts and calls are less frequent. If you press him, he's agitated or has excuses. This pattern now will repeat itself over and over again until you have not one shred of self-esteem left. Sound familiar? In the desperate attempt to explain what is happening to you, you stumble across the term twin flame. Now we have all heard the term soulmate. For decades people searched and searched for this soulmate, the one. Then something happened. The Spirit brought us to a deeper understanding of the fact that so many people we come across in life can be a soulmate, teachers and helpers we have in our lives, friends, family, even lovers. They are part of that greater whole, as we are all connected and each serve its own purpose. Then, as we learn to listen and evolve, we begin to try and understand this concept of twin flame. It seemed as though this was explaining to us that we all have only one vibratory match, one other half. In a world of 7 billion, this can feel daunting, even confusing. With each new strong connection we meet romantically, we ask, is this that one? Is this the blessed twin flame? We become fixated on the term, fixated on the person, and this becomes our whole life. This is not what this energy is about, I can assure you. As we are all connected, there is no such a thing as only one vibratory match for any one of us. Worse yet, as some teach out there, people are told a few confusing things. We are told maybe you have met your twin, but it's not meant to be in this life, or you are just not ready, which translates to the psyche, you are not good enough yet. And then there is the all too and very potentially damaging notion that one day when you least expect, this person is going to wake up, realize they love you, and come rushing back into your arms. If you cannot see the madness here, I cannot help you. All creation in the universe is order out of chaos. So let's look at all these chaos and find order here. For something to be real, every person, and I mean every person, should be able to simply understand this in simple terms so we can throw away the confusion. The term twin flame has come into your life as a catalyst to bring you to a higher vibration. What does that mean? In simple terms, the reason you are even reading this, you came across this confusing path because the Spirit has been calling you to awaken to your true self, the self that loves unconditionally. Not just one person, but all people. The Spirit is asking you to allow yourself to be refined, to be rid of unhealthy patterns in your life, because you were called to serve your fellow man in a higher form. You are not here to just live, work, and die. You are here to raise your vibration so you can help others raise theirs. So as we spread this love like an infection, all of humanity can be raised to a higher vibration. Now you're asking me, what about this love I have for this person? Are you telling me this is not my twin flame? Are you saying I am to just stop loving them? No, I'm telling you to release all lower forms of attachment. I'm telling you, Spirit wants you to let go of the obsession, the fears of abandonment, the fixation on this person as your object. Spirit is telling you, go ahead and love that person, and to love your family, and to love your friends, and to the stranger on the street. Spirit is telling you that your heart has been cracked open and you have unlimited capacity to love. Yet, still as I write, I feel the begging and burning question. What about romantic love? We are all energy. Every one of us vibrates at a frequency, depending on our level of awareness. When we say to a spirit we want romantic love, a partnership, we will meet and attract exactly where we are at in our vibration. This, my friends, is what this is all about. If you have not shed all the unhealthy patterns in your life, mark my words, you will find love. And that love will trigger each and every one of those areas you need to heal and shed. Even when we have shed those very unhealthy patterns, we will attract at our level of vibration someone who is vibrating at a similar, if not exact place. And in that place, anything left to be healed will surface as well. We never stop growing, never stop evolving. But doesn't it make more sense to work on self first, shedding these unhealthy patterns so we can attract someone who has done the same? Wouldn't it be easier to be in a relationship that can face each challenge as a healing opportunity rather than facing each challenge in an unhealthy manner? How can we serve humanity? How can we embody love when we never did learn to love ourselves. So in my attempt to clarify the complicated, I can assure you of the bottom line. You came into the twin flame path because you were called to a higher place. Spirit met you where you were at, and perhaps even used this love as a catalyst to grab you and shake you awake. Now it is our calling to turn to the mirror of ourselves and look. See what it is we are called to do. See all those hurtful things we have buried deep inside and heal them. Learn to love ourselves with such a love that we will not allow another to love us less than we love ourselves. Let me repeat that. Never allow someone to love you less than you love yourself. That is when, and only when, our romantic relationship will reflect the true unconditional love to the world. That is the moment when the vibrational match at your side and you can reach out and be an example to the world. That is what this path was all about. So let us drop these labels. Learn what is healthy and loving, and learn to love ourselves enough to accept nothing less than what we are truly called to do, which is love. Extracted from the book Eyes on Your Own Paper, Examining Truth About Twin Flame Teachings by Shaun, Bauer. If you'd like to have access to the full book, click the link in the description of the video. Thank you.